Hello, I'm Stuart McNiel, an educator here at the Intrepid Sea, Air and Space Museum. Today, I'm standing underneath our British Airways Concorde, one of the jewels of our aircraft collection. Today we're going to go inside its flight deck, learn a little bit more about how it works, its history, and the people who flew it. So, let's get started. Welcome to the flight deck of the Concorde. Now I'm sitting in the pilot's seat. It's from this seat that Captain Leslie Scott steered this plane from New York City to London, England in just 2 hours, 52 minutes, and 59 seconds. That's a record for crossing the Atlantic. It's from right here that pilots were able to take this plane to 1,350 miles per hour. That's 2 times the speed of sound. Now, the Concorde was able to do all of that thanks to its sleek design, delta wings, and incredibly powerful engines equipped with afterburners. Those engines were controlled right here by the throttle. Now I'm in the first officer's seat. Now the first officer's console is very similar to the pilot's, but the first officer also has controls for the landing gear, as well as the Concorde's adjustable nose. You see, the Concorde's nose could actually droop about 12.5 degrees, which allowed the crew to see the runway more clearly on landings. But that wasn't the first officer's only responsibilities. You see, the first officer is going to actually be flying the plane whenever the pilot needs to go confer with the flight engineer about any issues. Hey, speaking of the flight engineer, back here. Hi. All right, so now I'm by the flight engineer's seat. It's from this seat that the flight engineer would keep track of pretty much all of the Concorde's aviation systems. This job can be done by computers now, pretty much eliminating the position of the flight engineer. But back in 1969, when the Concorde first flew, the only computer capable of processing all of this data was the human brain. Now I'm in the jump seat. This was an extra seat used for other pilots or for VIPs. And that's it for today. Thank you for joining me on this little tour of the Concorde's flight deck. We're really happy to have you. Behind me is the rest of the aircraft, which, trust me, is just as fascinating as the little bit you got to see today. So if you're ever in New York City, come on down to the Intrepid Sea, Air and Space Museum. You'll get a chance to see the Concorde's flight deck in the flesh, as well as the rest of this marvelous machine. Thank you so much for joining me today. Until next time, I'm Stuart McNiel.